moment of and they next day it came out, and then it was like 4 days.
We're live.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm still seeing the intro coming on the screen here, but yeah, it was just like continual. Oh, we're live. Okay.
What's up, everyone? I hope everyone's having a good morning. Welcome to Darkness Live. Morning, night. Well, it's morning for me.
True, it is morning for you. Yes.
Kind of.
Yes. It's all good.
So, welcome to Darkness Live. We've got a really cool show in store for everyone tonight, and I got it right that time, tonight. And yeah, so
I was just talking away.
Well, you know, I get, we can't do the drinking game tonight because I have to work after the show. So
yes.
We have a drinking game that we play. Every time she changes the subject, I have to take a drink.
So it happens.
Oh heavens, you're gonna be drunk.
I usually am. So.
Yeah. Ashley! Oh my God! Karen! Ow. Don't do that, Stephanie.
Oh my gosh. So, just right quick before we get started, take a minute and if you haven't liked the page already, like the page, share the video, help us get the word out about this crazy stuff that we do. We love it, and hope you have fun with it too. I would encourage you also to check back in on us next week. We've got a really crazy show going on next week with our friend
Blue pill or red pill?
Yes, Brandon Callahan.
Go down the rabbit hole.
I want a purple pill. I don't
There
want
you
a blue
go.
or
Combine.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Going down the rabbit hole with all kinds of crazy conspiracy theory, and it should get interesting. So
yes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be wild. Some of the shit that dude has sent me, I'm just like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, but it all makes sense once you listen to it and do a little bit of research. It really makes sense. I mean, it's kind of scary, but we'll get into more of that next week because I don't want to steal too much thunder. So
right.
Do you have anything else for tonight before we introduce our amazing guest?
We added 3 new additions to our household yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any pictures of them, or I'd put pictures up. My mic sounds funny. What's up with my mic?
My mic or your mic?
My mic.
Okay, well, 3 new additions, Reese's Pieces and Candy. And they are guinea pigs.
Oh,
we got 3 guinea
fun.
pigs. This is the first time I've ever had
Lena,
like an animal in a cage, so to speak. I've always been staunch, like I don't want anything in a cage except spiders, of course. You know, eventually I will have another tarantula, but
I'm happy with the guinea pigs over a tarantula.
They're the coolest, like fat little things.
They're fun.
They're cute.
They're cute.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah, we got 3 new additions, and so there's that, and yeah, I had a good Monday. Did you have a good Monday, Jeremiah?
I mean, yeah, but it was, chasing a 3-year-old around all day and trying to keep her out of the guinea pig cage.
She figured out how to open.
Yes, like within 5 minutes this morning, she knows how to open the cage. So
they will get out. They will get lost.
Lena can't stay. Hi, Lena. I wish you could stay. We'll pop back on if you want to. Yeah.
All right. Well, are we ready to?
She said I came on and you have mic issues. Of course. Of course.
Well, you know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, do you have any other, or let's jump right in?
No?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm personally ecstatic because I don't have to put the earbuds in my ears tonight because we actually have our guest in studio.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Our guest tonight is the Prairie Pagan and Keazer. She is amazing. And is a moon-loving, incense-burning mother of 5 delightful humans and a vegetarian. After a series of unfortunate events, she discovered the tarot as a way to understand her universe. She has been smitten with the tarot ever since and enjoys using her knowledge as a tarot advisor to help people navigate this crazy thing called life.
She's so pretty.
And enjoys...
That's an old pic.
Oh my God, whatever. You're so pretty.
And enjoys working with spirit boards, pendulums, tarot, and witch runes. Before COVID, she read tarot at several local metaphysical shops and taught classes on different subjects metaphysically related. She teaches one-on-one tarot classes, and she can be found on Facebook as a Prairie Pagan, and we will put that up on the video description after the show. So let me get back.
She also does hand fastings too.
I do hand fastings, yeah. And I'm also on Instagram.
Yes.
Prairie Pagan on Instagram. It's
Cool.
a new
Yeah, we
account,
can
so I
put
forget
that.
about
Get me
it.
that information. We can put that up too.
Yes.
So what's up?
Not a whole lot. I was pretty excited to come visit with y'all.
I know. You're welcome anytime. I feel like it's one of those friendships that it's like we'll always be friends. We might not see each other for a long time,
Right.
but we'll always be like, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
Is she on now? Can everybody see
yep,
her?
everyone's on. Everyone can see her.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming to our humble abode.
Well, thanks for having me. You know, I try to catch you guys' show as much as I can, and I end up missing it a whole lot because, well, I'm kind of flaky sometimes.
Well, I
and
mean,
Monday evenings are usually really busy for people.
It's the Aries in me too, so yeah.
oh my gosh. Speaking of Aries, I had one of our daughters is an Aries. And
Not only is she an Aries, she is a Aries, Sagittarius, Aries.
I'm an Aries cat Sag. So, yeah.
Today, this afternoon, when I was taking a nap so I wouldn't be exhausted by the time I got off work in the morning, which doesn't do any good. I don't know why I even try. But I never remember my dreams, but I had a dream about her that I remembered. And I was so pissed when I woke up. Oh, I'm still pissed at her over this dream.
I thought it was girls that did that. You made me mad in my dream, and I'm never going to talk to you until you apologize for it.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was completely off the subject, but
Well, I do dream interpretation too.
oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. It's just something
Well,
that
here we
it
go.
was just the weirdest thing. It just all of a sudden, once I started down this little path here, people would say dreams, and as they're saying it, I'm
You
like,
just
yeah, I know what
know.
it means. I know what it means.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell her
So-
what
Tell me
the
your
dream
dream.
was.
So, okay, so like I said, I don't generally remember dreams, but I do. I've lost some of the detail of this one already, but we were off somewhere out in the country. There was a lot of family there. I don't remember who all was there. Just a lot of family outside of our regular household, and
that's a lot to begin with.
yeah. So she had a horse that she wanted to show at a horse show. And I was excited about this because I used to show horses. And she was being a little butthead. She was like sticking her nose up at everything I said. And she even so much as at one point turned around and just flat out told me F you.
Whoa!
Which that is not this child. She does not act like that. She gets a little snarky sometimes, but she isn't. I mean, this is like so far removed from anything that you would ever expect from her. You know, but it pissed me off. I was pissed off in the dream, and I was pissed off when I woke up.
Well, you know, most of the time when we're talking about dreams are an awful lot like tarot. They deal with symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And your higher self, however you want to put it, you know, gives you symbols in your dream that you can understand. Now, the horse is important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have to think, what does a horse mean to you? Yeah, okay, so you have to understand what the horse symbol is because your mind has put this horse in there. Okay, so it has your daughter. I don't know if it's necessarily your daughter or if it's a set of circumstances
Right.
that are very close to your heart
Mhm.
that you feel are not going the way they should.
Right.
Something very close to you is not going the way it should, and it's something that you know and understand because you know and understand horses.
Yeah. So.
But yet this situation is kind of derailing somewhat,
Oh,
and
shit.
so it's upsetting you. What?
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay,
Keep going.
What did I say?
No.
Did I curse?
No. Keep going.
But there's something derailing that
That
you
would have been a
feel-
drinking moment.
Oh, okay. You feel that you should have control of, and not just control. The word I'm getting is a total understanding of.
Okay.
That for whatever reason, this situation,
Yeah.
and it's probably going to be a family type situation because the family's there.
Right.
There's something that is not going the way you feel it should. You don't have an understanding of it, and you don't know how to deal with it because where you're coming from, where you know how to deal with horses, is not going to work in this situation.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it actually
Does that
it actually makes perfect sense. So yeah, okay, maybe I'm not so mad at Madeline anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it was a Madeline. I think it was a situation of some sort. So
Wow.
What?
Oh, I just when she's talking about
Mm-hmm. You know exactly what we're talking about, don't you?
like
There's a situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
And once we understand our dreams, and once we understand, like if you're having a recurring dream, and you're like, I keep having this dream. Well, it's because you haven't figured it out. You haven't worked on it, done the shadow work. People are like, oh no, I've worked on that. Clearly not. You're still
Hi,
dreaming
Ben.
about it.
Hi, Ben.
So
Yeah.
that's why you'll keep getting recurring dreams. And whenever you have such a emotional reaction,
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
that is what you're having in real life. You're
Right.
just probably suppressing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I can
my
understand that for
gosh.
sure. So there's actually I won't get into the personal details of the actual situation going on right now, but just to shed a little bit of light, horses are very important to me. It kills me that I haven't had horses in so long. But I used to raise horses. It was actually at one point in time a source of income for me. And
I am
so
just like, I wish that I could just put the thought in your head, like just throw it to you, and you would know.
You know what? It doesn't matter if I know what it means. What's important is that you get the understanding of the symbols so you can work through this situation,
Yeah.
because that's how we get rid of reoccurring dreams. And like all shadow work, that's how we get over
right.
You gotta
the
get to that
anger.
root cause.
What is anger? Anger something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So,
root cause.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I always loved your, analogy. When it comes to weeds, if you just cut the weed off, you're not gonna get rid of the weed.
Right.
You got to get rid of the roots
Mhm.
too. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep coming back. And yeah.
Well, there you
That's
go.
awesome. That's awesome.
Wow. I'm just wow. Wow.
Well, that was fun. I love doing dream interpretation.
I wish I had. I wish I
at
had.
work, everybody comes and like, hey, you gotta talk to me. Because everybody at work, I'm pretty much really quiet at work about
Yeah.
things. I mean,
Uh-huh.
obviously, but
Yeah.
they know.
Right.
They know. And they'll come up, they're like, hey, we talked about a dream.
You're like, okay.
And it's surprising how many people in the office all
Yeah.
come to me and they're like, hey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. I wish I had a dream to tell you about so I could get an interpretation.
Next time you have one, send me a text.
I will. I totally will. Oh, and you have a friend on here,
Who?
Kat Mena. Mena.
Oh, yeah, Kat.
She said Anne is great at dream interpretation. She
Oh.
helps with mine.
I do. I help her. She helps me too, but yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
awesome.
awesome.
So, tell us about yourself.
Yes, do tell.
Well, I'm kind of boring. I'm
What?
really not very exciting.
Not really.
I've never
but-
met a boring Aries. I've never met a boring Aries, just saying.
I don't do a whole lot. I mean, I do my cards because I love my cards. Like I said, I was reading professionally at a couple different metaphysical stores, but then with the COVID, I'm like, yeah, I got that autoimmune disease. I probably ought to stay not so peoply. So I've been doing a lot
Yeah.
more online readings and everything. But I really miss doing all that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that came about just kind of in a weird way because I was just a customer at the store, and their tarot reader was supposed to be there for an event, and then she couldn't. And so the guy working there was like, "Hey, I know this customer. She'd be great." So he calls me while I'm at work. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I could. I've never read professionally. Well, I'll try this." Yeah, it was about like 5 years ago.
That's
It
awesome.
was supposed to be a one and done deal, and then she's like,
You stuck around.
"Hey, you wanna come hang out on the weekends?" So yeah.
That's cool.
But in between all of that, I've learned to read tarot, and then somebody needed someone to marry them, and I felt bad for them. I'm like, well, it can't be that hard. And then I'm at the point where I'm always saying, I'm not doing any more weddings. I'm never doing any more weddings. Okay, well, I have 2 lined up in November. You know, but yeah, it just, my phone's right there. Sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
So, I'll just hang up on them. They should be watching me anyway and knowing what I'm doing, because I blasted this on Facebook.
That's awesome. Because that's how we met you was you did our wedding.
Well, and that was what's funny too, because I don't advertise at all, 0. And my daughter tagged me in a post on one of those wedding sites that I wasn't even on, and I'm like, huh. And so I talked to you, and you're like, well, hey, let's meet. And as soon as I met you guys, I'm like, I like these people. I'm going to do this wedding.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a glorious day.
That was a great wedding.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites so far.
That
was so complex, so I was so nervous.
You did perfect.
You did awesome.
But
You
that
did
was a lot of
awesome.
fun. That was a lot of fun. It's been one of my favorites. And I like really eclectic, different weddings. I mean, I do the traditional Christian weddings too, you know, with prayers and blessings and all, but I do hand fastings, and I've done them out at the lake,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of times people are like, I need to get married in a week. Can you do it? I'm like,
Like, holy
wow,
cow.
well, it's not a big wedding, is it? So yeah, I end up doing quite a few of those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we got a lot of kids, so you're set for a while.
you do have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
One down, which she married, by the way.
Yeah.
She married him and her.
Yep.
Had a hand fasting. It was beautiful.
This is start a tradition. You know, of course, we've got some of the plans that we've kind of got in the works. We may have to work out a business
Oh my
arrangement
God.
with
Well,
you
you know,
on
we've
that.
been talking about this before, you and I, because you know,
we've got. I've been
Yeah.
thinking about you a lot because we'll have to talk more about it
Yeah.
off air. But yeah, it's
We've got some-
we've got some.
I got some plans
We got
too.
some
And I'm
plans.
thinking like, yeah, this would be really a cool thing to do. But yeah, yeah.
And somebody by the name of Peter.
Hi,
said-
Peter. He's one
Oh,
of my.
there you go.
Yeah, he's one of my friends.
Awesome.
But
Yes, Peter.
he's the one who started teaching me tarot.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
cool.
We actually started learning together because I was a good Christian girl. And I was working at a calendar store in the mall, and there were these gypsy witch cards.
Ooh, you were like, ooh, I'm curious, but I
they
shouldn't,
kept
but I want to.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to go to hell if I look at them. I'm going to go to hell. Pretty soon I ended up buying them. And he comes in, and he was my boss at the time. But it wasn't busy right then, you know, because it was like September, October. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, playing solitaire? No, you're not. Pretty soon he and I were hanging out, you know, and we're like, we're going to learn tarot. We're just going to learn.
There you go.
And so we just started learning, and pretty soon we had a whole little tarot group going.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's
the only way you
awesome.
can learn is if you do readings. So
Yeah.
anybody that was within arm's reach of me, it's like, here, let me give you a reading.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want one tough, sit down. 'Cause I'm going to learn this stuff. So, yeah.
That's really cool. I actually just started learning tarot. Well, I say just. I've been working with it for about a year now.
Yeah.
So, and I've got a few readings developed that incorporate both tarot and runes.
I use witch rooms with my tarot. I use oracle and tarot together. I use my pendulum and the tarot. When I do the spirit board, I don't like to say Ouija board because people are like, whatever. So we'll use the nice term spirit board. But when we use the spirit board, there's plenty of times I use the tarot along with it.
Cool.
And, I get real positive responses from the spirits when I'm doing it. So, I mean, you can use tarot in conjunction with anything that you want.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't hear anything.
I know, that's my
I didn't
son.
hear anything.
And then when I talk to him later, I'll say, you knew I was doing that live. He'll go, oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot that was tonight, Mom.
Yeah. Know that feeling very well.
Oh, for sure. Yes, we do. Very much. So, let's see. Peter said, ask her how she first... Oh, wait, you might have just answered this and I just now caught up to the chat. You should ask her how she first started tarot. Yeah, you answered that.
That's what it was. Yeah.
One of the other viewers said, I can't get the hang of tarot. I've tried for 5 years to get it down. Would you have any advice for her?
Go with your intuition?
One, I teach one-on-one tarot classes. Okay.
Hey, there you go, Erin. She does.
Two is, I think the biggest thing, and everybody hears it and everybody argues with it, but everybody says, don't memorize the cards. Well, how can I learn if I don't memorize? Well, you can't memorize the cards.
Right.
You
So it's like,
have
don't overthink it?
Yeah, you can't overthink it. And like I say, we have to remember symbols. Tarot is symbols.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're reacting to the symbols that you see.
Right.
And so the more that you go with your intuition, just like Stephanie said, the better your readings get. And then the more you do it. You can't expect... When I first learned, every night I was at the table, I'd light my candle and my incense, I'd get my tea ready, get a cigarette because I was smoking hot, sit down and do my tarot every night.
I love it.
But I did it every night, and it put me in a cycle every night because I was getting this little ritual, and so it was getting my mind set to be open to receive.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after a while, I could do it. Well, I don't have a candle. Okay, I'm fine. I'm out of incense. I'm good. I'm out of tea. I'm going to die. But still, after a while, it was like I could just start getting in the mode even without all of that little ritual. So I always tell people, try to get a little ritual together. Try to do it first in the morning or last at night or,
Yeah.
At night for me was best when the whole house was asleep.
Right.
So I could focus.
Gotta wait till nighttime for that, man. Bedtimes are not for children; they're for parents,
They're for parents.
too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's kind of like so the runes. So like when I started learning the runes, the Elder Furthic runes, I literally used flashcards to learn how to say. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the problem I have with those. Right? Yeah, because it's a different language.
And I would do like 4 a day, and I would just keep adding to it until I got them all down or whatever. And then once I learned how to pronounce them all and like recognize them, because everybody has different ways of like learning, And so for me, I'm a visual learner, but I learned with the runes that say it, write it, say it, write it, and then mix them up and then write it and then say it, and you know what I'm saying. And so, and then once I learned all of them, then I started to go in and slowly, gradually, over time, learn what they each kind of mean,
Right.
And then before I knew it, it was like, oh, I know all the runes, I'm not near as proficient as him. But it's fun to.
Well, and I tried to get together with you.
Yeah,
to do, well, and then I had surgery, and then COVID hit, and it's like
just been
the
a
world
shitstorm.
exploded. But I did get one tarot class in with Psychic Cynthia. I don't know if you guys know her. She's amazing, Cynthia Killian. I went to one of her rune classes, and some things just really, really clicked. So getting different people to tell you about it helps too. And some of the things just started to click, and I'm like, I'm seeing a pattern in this because I didn't know about the 3 tiers, and So once you started explaining stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm getting this. It's kind of like algebra.
Yeah, all the eights and the exactly.
Which I'm still not anywhere proficient enough to do a reading for anybody in the Fartuk runes. Now the witch runes are completely different.
Right.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Those are easy.
Yeah. There's what 13
13
of them, and
There's
and
also a set with 8, but I like the 13, and anyone can learn those.
Yeah.
So one of
yeah.
the readers says she has a very old deck of Phoenix cards, and she can't get a feel for them, but really want to learn them. Could that mean that maybe she is trying to bond with a deck that she is meant to have a different deck?
Sometimes, decks are funky because sometimes you'll get a deck and you really, really want it, and it just doesn't really resonate. Sometimes you're supposed to learn on a different deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Gotcha.
maybe go back to that one, So, because I have, honestly, I don't have near as
Bless
many
you.
as a lot
Not
of,
COVID allergies. I got tested today. It was negative.
not like some crazy tarot people that have hundreds of decks.
Right.
But I do have a sizable amount.
Yeah.
Some of them I never read with. Some I read with all the time. This little deck I carry with me all the time. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I can throw it in my backpack. I have the deck that I use in the shop because it looks really amazing. It's big and, it's very impressive looking. And people are like, oh, because they're getting the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some decks I use just for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest getting a different type of deck, getting a
Yeah.
Rider-Waite deck,
Okay.
learn that,
Okay.
and then revisit that other one.
See, there you go, Erin. Maybe because she said that the deck she's talking about, it was handed down to her. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's waiting for her to learn it before
It might
she
be
starts
just a
using
little more
it.
advanced than what.
Could be.
It's just, they're like a book. You have to
Yeah.
learn to read small
Right.
before you get big sometimes.
Yes.
Especially with things that are passed down, that they can have a totally different energy attachment to them than something else that may just what am I trying to say? The energy attached to it may just be too complex to learn from.
See, and I think it's...
Does that make
Well,
sense?
What I do, okay, and then what I do with the deck when I first get it is I carry it around with me all the time. I sleep with it under my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I carry it with me all the time so that all that energy gets to bond with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know there's people that are like, oh, nobody can touch my deck. Whatever. I got enough whatever to get your juju off of it. I don't care if you touch my deck. It's mine. But that's just me.
You need a shirt that has like tarot cards that says, hands off my deck.
Don't touch my tarot. And it could be, there's been other decks that I've had that I wasn't very proficient at. And then later, now that I revisit them, I'm like, okay, well, this makes more sense now.
Right. Yeah. I've had the.
I wouldn't get rid of it, but I would definitely.
See, and I think it's always interesting how people end up with tarot decks because a lot of our friend Esty is kind of cool because for I don't remember, it was Valentine's Day last year. I bought Jeremiah Raven Oracle deck and the Crow Tarot.
I have that one.
Okay. Well, what's funny is that
Yeah.
we were at a fair somewhere, and Esty was like, our friend Esty, he brought over. He's like, I got you a deck, and I'm like, what? It was the Crow Tarot deck. Okay?
That's a nice.
And then
one.
what was cool though was, so then my first deck, actually Jeremiah bought me, it was the Rider-Waite deck, and then my aunt, Eric,
Her
partner.
Yeah,
Significant other, boyfriend, whatever you would call it, yeah.
In-law, basically.
They were cleaning out his mom's house because his dad passed away and she had to move into an assisted living. And she came across an old tarot deck, but it's one that's got like the elements in it and stuff too.
Is it a tarot de Marseille?
Do what?
Is it a tarot de Marseille?
I don't know.
Okay. On the Rider-Waite, the pips, like the 2s, 3s, 4s, they have images on them. Pictures, but on the Tarot de Marseille, they just have like 9 swords, 2 cups, 3 coins.
This one, no.
Okay.
Well, I don't.
Because sometimes those have different.
The spirit of what's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
Can't remember.
It's in a box.
It's
but
very old.
it's from like the 70s. Yeah. And we're gonna have to dig it out after the show. I'm gonna have to dig it out so you can see
at
it. And then so I was gifted that one, and I really resonated with it because I kept doing like 1 card pulls a day, and then I would go to the book because the coloring and the aesthetics of this deck are very very.
They're not. It's a very the artwork is very
I don't know what the word is.
plain, for lack of a better
Yeah,
term.
very,
So
very
it's
plain.
not,
very,
there's not a lot of
very pastel
visual input.
colors. Yeah, and so I don't know all of the cards. Like I've gotten through most of the major arcana cards, so I know most of them. But as far as the minor, there's way too many. I'm like, how do I even do this, right? And so I would go to the book because it came with a book, right? And I would just go, one card pull a day and read, and I'm like, damn, this fits. I'm like, what, right? And so it's just really cool. And then our daughter-in-law and then the oldest daughter, I gave them each. I gave the oldest daughter Michaela the Starman David Bowie deck, and then
I love that one.
oh my god, I know David Bowie. David Bowie.
Love that deck.
My new shirt, my new David Bowie.
That was
shirt
my
came in.
Christmas present for my son one year. The year it came out.
Oh really?
Oh, I geeked out on that
I
one.
loved that deck so much.
That one's got a lot going on, and it's not for everybody though, because there's a lot going on in that one, and that would be there. I hate to use the word advanced because tarot decks aren't advanced,
Right.
But that one would be a more advanced person's
Yeah.
deck because there's so much going on. You have to have a little bit of the basic stamp.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the artwork.
exactly.
Oh,
The
my God,
artwork
the
is
artwork's
amazing.
phenomenal.
Well, you
Yeah.
know that guy that did the deck knew David Bowie. He actually knew him, and he
Oh, wow.
did album artwork for him.
Oh wow.
So after David Bowie passed, he felt very
God rest
comfortable
his soul in peace.
being able to use David Bowie idea
Wow.
in the artwork. So
Very cool.
yeah.
But yeah, like when I was trying to find a tarot deck, because I've been wanting to learn tarot for a long time. But it just, Rider Waite was cool, but I just couldn't connect with it.
I actually bought his
I've
two
got-
decks in Moonstone.
I've got probably
You weren't there that day.
I've probably got 24 decks that I just never was able to really resonate with any of them. And then the Crow Tarot came up, and I opened, and it was just like, wait a minute.
I love that deck
I
because
like
the
this.
card stock is so nice. For
Mhm.
one.
Oh yeah.
It's
oh, yeah.
really, really nice. I love it.
God, I love me a good card deck.
I do too.
It's just the thickness, the feel, the
Right. That's because if
the
you buy the
texture.
quality decks and not the pirated ones
Yeah.
off Wish and Amazon, you will get a better product.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah, you will.
that has the same similar imagery to the Rider Waite.
Right.
It's just put in a
Yeah.
different aesthetic for you that you can connect with.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then you're more likely to use it and more likely to connect with it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to
Well,
your
just
friend
that-
that said she has one that she doesn't connect
Yeah.
with. She probably needs one she can connect with more before she moves down to that.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. She said hers is from the 40s.
Right on.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
that's really cool, Erin.
That is cool.
Claire said she's never messed with tarot cards before. Well, get to messing with
Get
it.
to messing. They're
Claire.
fun.
Yeah.
Get to messing with it. Maybe
They're a
she's
lot of
waiting
fun.
for some, maybe she's waiting to have it one gifted to her.
Well, and there's an old thing about that they need to be gifted to you. That's not the truth.
No,
Right,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not
It's
because you do
not.
better if you pick out your own.
Mhm.
Well, for the girls, so last year when we went, God, balls to the wall with gifts for everybody at the end of the year. Okay, I bought each of the girls an Oracle deck, and I bought Madeline it was like an animal spirit one, right? And then Bella got hers was cool. Hers was like, how do you explain that type of artwork? What is that
It's-
type of artwork called?
She got the anime one, didn't she?
Yeah, it's like a I don't know what that style of art is called, but it's very very mythical, and it would be like little girls that had like a wolf or a bird but it was almost like Tim Burton kind of style like sort of deck. Really cool artwork, really great vibrant colors, and the like earth tone colors and stuff like that. But I can't remember what hers was called. But then Melanie got the light. I don't know. It's light and something deck. But it was a lot of like crystals and pastel colors, and it was so fitting for her. It's actually in our bookshelf right now. But it's hey, Claire's birthday's
Yep.
coming up. Just saying. Then Jerica, I bought her for her birthday. I bought her the Unknown. It's that really like kind of
You know what that one
odd,
is so
overused.
Well, it's very.
What's it called? Into the Unknown. The Unknown.
Is it the Wild Unknown?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was one of those decks that it was an artist-only release for a long time, so it was very difficult to come by unless you bought it from the artist, and you paid a premium price for it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, which the artist deserves that.
Right.
I feel the artist deserve that. Well, then she went nationwide with it, and it was in Barnes and Noble, and then it's everywhere.
I would think that
and
one
it's exploded.
would be really hard to learn.
Now I'm going, well, here's the thing about that one. I don't resonate with that deck. I'm just going to tell you why. Because the sun looks like a sore butthole. Every time I look at it.
Do you need some Desitin?
That's what it looks like.
You need some Desitin.
But I don't resonate with that. I've read with it, and because
it's really cool
feel
cards.
if you're a real reader, you can read with any deck.
Oh, yeah.
Oracle,
Right.
Tarot,
Right.
Lenormand, whatever. You should be able to read with anything. But to me, it's kind of like the hipster deck.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But so many people love it, and that's what's important. If you love that deck and you work well with it, you need to use it.
Yeah.
And you don't listen to me. My opinion does not count.
Right.
It does not matter. So.
I appreciate your opinion.
I like that. I like
value-
that deck that Esty uses too.
This is the dream something. Dream.
It's I thought it was a Earth Spirit or something like that.
No, the name of it's something about
Esty, if you're watching, what deck do you read with?
It's got elements in it. It's dream.
It's got more cards
It's
too.
one
It's got
that
like I think it's like an 82 or 86 card
So
deck.
it's going to be more like an Oracle deck?
What's
No,
that?
it's a tarot
No, it's
deck.
not Oracle. It's tarot. It's just got
Yeah.
extra cards in it.
It's it's one that like you'd recognize. Like I'm sure you've seen it, but I can't remember what it's called. Let me just Google that shit.
Just Google it. And while you do that, Google the sun card from the Wild Unknown. They tell me
I'm
what
on
you
it right
Tell me
now.
what you see.
I'm on it.
Just saying. Somebody's got hemorrhoids. But no, and I'm not
H.
taking anything away from the artist. She's a much better artist than I am, obviously. And there were so many people that deck does resonate with.
Right.
You know?
And that's like you said, that's the important
That's
part.
the important part.
Cause I agree, with what you said. If you're a true reader, you should really be able to read with anything.
You can read with playing cards.
Exactly. Because it becomes more about or as much about your intuition as it does the tool that you're using.
Mm-hmm. And I always say tarot is like a gateway drug.
Right.
Because it is a wonderful way to connect
Dreams
with your
of Gaia.
intuition. Dreams of Gaia, yeah.
That's the deck.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Yeah,
nice
that's
one.
right.
That's a really nice one.
Yes, it is.
But it's a way to learn to tap into your intuition.
Into
and
the
from
unknown
there,
sun
it's
card?
very easy.
Or Wild Unknown Sun card.
It's very easy to learn runes from there. It's very easy to start picking up a pendulum and using it, and because you already kind of know how to connect a little bit.
Right.
You know, so it's a wonderful way to expand
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
your metaphysicalness.
Yeah. That's cool. So. Oh.
She found
Guys,
it.
she's not wrong. Can you see it on the screen?
I'll see if I can pull it up on the.
I can't get it any closer.
No,
but-
you're fine. I'll pull it up on the screen here.
That one card ruined it
Oh
for
my
me.
god.
Well, okay.
You're
Well,
not wrong. The Wild Unknown Sun card. You're not wrong. Oh my god.
okay.
Of course, not everybody sees that right off.
Oh, I see.
But I looked at it and went, I'm never going to look at this the same way again. Ever.
Oh my goodness. So Anne, can I ask you, like, what is your path? Is that something?
Okay,
Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it?
I'm a mess.
That's okay. That's a good way to be.
Because
We're messes daily. It's okay.
I consider myself an eclectic and a kitchen witch. This is because I love homey stuff. I love cooking for people. I love making my home a wonderful place for people, you know. But the further I go, because at first it was like, I can't say that word, witch. I can't say it. But now, I own it. I embrace it, everything. But it somehow gets left behind the further I go into my path, and I realize I'm just on this metaphysical path,
Mm-hmm.
But I still love my candles and my jars and my oils, my sabbats, I mean,
Yes.
but it's not like before where, that's what my sole focus was. Now it's just more just metaphysical stuff and spirituality and connecting with source and how I navigate things and,
I just put up a picture of the sun card from.
The butthole. Sun kissed.
I can definitely see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're never gonna look at it the same.
No, it
That's
just looks
okay.
ouchy.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if there's
So-
a gnome deck. Is
There
there a
is.
gnome deck?
There is, and we sell it at Moonstone. It comes in a little box. Like
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah, there's pretty much a deck for anybody.
Pretty much, yeah.
You just
Although
have to
I have
look.
not found the reason I got him the Raven Oracle deck was because that's why I got the Crow because it was it's a Corbin, but I couldn't find. They have a Raven deck, but it's not all Ravens. Like it's.
There's several
You know what I'm
Raven
talking
decks,
about?
and there's like one at Moonstone that I was real excited when I saw it, but it has a whole lot of Christian stuff in it, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to read with that one.
Right, yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
And some people do, and that's fine. It's just like, oh, those angel cards. I can read with them, okay? But they're not my favorite because
Your friend Peter said needs some bleaching.
oh, that's funny. Right on, Peter.
Funny. He said
Sorry
you're
if
an
I blew
amazing
out y'all
cook,
deer
too.
drums there. That was funny.
Well, thank you, Peter. I love to
Yes.
feed people, and I love to cook, and I love
Well, you can
to.
feed me anytime, Ann.
I love cooking for people. I really do. And I do. I put so much energy into it that I just want to feed you and make you grow and make you happy.
Yes.
That's because you describe yourself as a kitchen witch, and something in my years of practice and getting to know people and everything. I don't identify as a kitchen witch at all. I love to cook, but it's just not it's just not my my thing. But one thing I have noticed about everyone that I've gotten to know that describes themselves as a kitchen witch is they really put into practice the whole it's a lifestyle thing.
There's a lot of intent in my lifestyle
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
with how I deal with people.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you
I
guys
truly feel
really
that.
seem to take the whole it's a lifestyle thing to another level, and I really appreciate that. That's
Yeah. It's like I want to be the comfy chair for everybody
Yes.
by the fireplace.
Yeah.
That's just
Yes.
how I feel inside, and that's what
I would totally sit in
want
that
for
lazy
people.
boy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yep. I
That's
would totally sit in it.
That's how I feel, and I think that's why when I discovered all of that, I'm like, that suits me.
right. Yeah,
That
yeah.
suits
Isn't
me.
the best feeling when you have that moment where you're like,
When you have that aha moment,
this is it,
and you
man.
start doing
Yeah.
what really sets your soul on fire,
Oh, yeah.
your life falls into place.
Yep. You live your passion.
And then if you go off of it,
Yes.
things just start to fall apart. And then when you do things that you really love, like I love my tarot, the money follows. And it's not even about the money. That's what's so funny.
The
Right.
money.
It's
The
not
money.
about the money.
Well, the money comes with it.
But it
you know?
just follows because people recognize the worth you have for whatever it is, whether it be rune reading, tarot reading, teaching tarot, whatever it is. They recognize that.
Right.
And they're like, here. It's like, and that's why, you guys know I'll do weddings for free a lot of
Yeah.
times. I'll do tarot readings for free a lot of times. But I do charge for my services for a lot of things. But then there's a lot of times I'm like, I'm just going to do this stuff for free because they need it.
yeah.
you know? And somehow it doesn't matter because it all evens out.
Yeah.
It does. It all evens out in the end. It really does. It's like and we need in our community, and not just in our community, but in the world in general, we need everyone that plays all these different roles. You described yourself. How was it? You said it. You want to be the comfy chair.
I want to be the comfy chair by the fireplace for everybody.
Yes.
That's what I want. The big
Yes.
comfy chair with the blankie and the slippers.
Yes.
I just
You
want
know,
to be
where
comfortable. for
Stephanie
everybody.
is the one running around making sure everyone has their tea topped off, but making them laugh their asses off at the same time. She gets the job security because they're laughing so hard they can't keep their tea full.
Yeah.
And then I'm the asshole, the creepy asshole sitting over in the corner that
Asshole.
everyone needs to talk to, but no one wants to talk to.
Asshole, do you need some bleach?
Is that the theme for today?
I'm just seeing this big fucking butthole.
Today's
Big fucking butthole.
theme is a sore butthole.
Oh my god. I'm sure there's a cream for that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jesus. Oh man. Anatomy can be so funny. You know what I mean? It can. Yeah. So, the old saying, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Do you feel it's that way with tarot decks? Wow, I just went from,
Yeah,
unspeakable
sometimes-
things to tarot
Sometimes
decks.
because they're all an awful lot alike, there's a lot of similarities in a lot of them. It's just knowing how to use them,
Mhm.
I mean, and that's why I say you can read with anything. You should be able to,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. There's some that I'm not as good with. I'm not as good with Tarot de Marseille. I can read with them. I'm not as good with, playing cards, but I can read with them.
Mm-hmm.
Oracle cards aren't my favorite. We were talking about the angel cards. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're so love and light.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this world is full of a lot of shadows.
Yeah. Yes.
So
That's something I want to ask you about. There's been, and you see some of the stuff going around about it. Finally on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that now. But that there has come to be a term called toxic positivity.
yes,
I've never heard
what-
that. I've never heard
I
that.
agree with that.
Is that called Amazon Prime?
Well, it's called the Love and Light Tarot Oracle deck.
Yeah.
Because, the person that's like, I'm fine, I'm going to make everything fine, and their world's falling apart. It's like, clearly you're not fine. Sometimes we need to just sit down,
Have a good cry.
have a good cry, look in the mirror, see what's really going on. Why is this affecting me so much? What is going on? We just need to explore that, and that segues into some different decks, and we'll go that way.
There we go.
Okay, so you start off, like, you have Lenormand decks, you have tarot decks, you have oracle decks. So this is how they work. So you go into a party, the Lenormand, first you walk in, the oracle deck looks at you and goes, oh my. And you're like, what? Well, then the tarot card walks over and goes, hey, come here, let's go in the bathroom, I want to show you something in the mirror. Okay? Then you run into Lenormand, they go, man, you look stupid, who dressed you? So now my friend Peter that's on the line there, he almost always wants a Lenormand reading. He's like, just kick my ass.
You're like,
Give me the
okay.
gypsy witch. Give it to me straight, And then I have other friends that are like, oh, let's go soft today.
Yeah, right.
Oracle.
So we'll pull out an oracle deck.
So what are Kipper cards?
Yeah.
They're very much like Lenormand.
Okay.
Very much like. They're German based, I believe, is how they started. But yeah, they're very much like that.
I was gifted a deck of Kipper cards.
Do you use them?
I actually have not even opened
They're
them
fun
yet.
because you
I
can
don't
read
know
them like
why.
a sentence.
I don't know why I haven't opened them. I just have not, and I've had them for a few months. Like I just have not.
Well, they're a lot of fun
Open
because,
them.
like I said, you can read them like a sentence.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Maybe I should open them up. Maybe we should open them.
and someday maybe we could go over them. Because I was supposed to teach you tarot too a long time ago.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Shit
Lies.
happened. actually, the person who gifted them to me, we were speaking of right before the show. The Kipper deck, and she also gifted to me
the naughty deck.
the naughty deck, and yeah, that one's definitely not for the young at heart. Or no, it is for the young at heart. It's not for the.
It's not for the prude.
Yes,
people.
there we go. Yes, there we go.
People
It's
afraid
very
to
like
look at
Renaissance.
ugly buttholes.
Yes, it's very Renaissance. Like feel very. You know what deck I'm talking about?
I think I've
The
seen it.
I can't remember what it's called. Actually, it's in your. It's next door.
I'm pretty sure
It's
I've seen
right
it.
there.
Oh, is it right behind Ann?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Oh, I bet you.
Or one's very similar. I looked at it and went,
I'm just
I
like.
feel lonesome now. Okay.
I'm just like, how would you even read those? Like,
You know, and with the sexual energy, some people connect to that so much more. Like I connect to the kitchen comfy energy.
Uh-huh.
They connect to that so much more. So, you know,
maybe, yeah, it's
it resonates with them so much more. So,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
You were talking a while ago about the different way that different cards. Hang on, I'm tripping over my words here. You guys just talk for a second. I'll get my
Okay.
thoughts lined out here.
On my tabs, I'll get to the tab that I need.
It's like Windows. It's like back when Windows was a thing, and it would like get frozen because it would be like 150 like screens open at the same time.
Yeah,
It's X. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see those memes floating around a lot. My brain is like a browser
17
tab
tabs
with 17.
open.
I don't know where the music's
17.
coming from.
Yes. Yes.
That's my life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
I
the
swear to
hell is
God.
that music coming from?
I swear to God, the reason that I can't remember shit, I'll never lie because I can't ever remember what I say. Anyways, but I swear to God, it's because my brain is full of lyrics from my entire, since I started loving music, right? Like oh my God, I love music and my brain is packed full with song lyrics, okay? Actually, there's a song, and that's actually how I learned the runes in order, because there's a song and they list the runes in order, except the last two they have flipped. They have Athala as the last rune, and Dagas as the one right before that one. In reality, it's, or maybe, I don't know.
Well, I
Rune
mean,
Master?
So there's actually a big to-do over which rune is actually the last rune. Is it Othala or is it Dagas?
Oh, I would think it would be Dagas, because
You know, that's the way I learned them, and that's just the way I've always thought of it. But
endings,
you know,
beginnings.
there are a lot of people out there of the thought that Othala is actually the last rune, and I don't know that either way is right or wrong. It just
you know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know.
I think sometimes it's like you said, this is how you learned it. You know, like when I learned the Celtic Cross, I learned it by myself, obviously. And I mixed up some of the positions. And the Celtic Cross is one of them that I use a lot, especially in professional readings when I don't know somebody. Now, the people I know, I just throw some cards down.
Mm-hmm.
But when I don't know someone, I do the Celtic Cross. Well, I put these in, my idea of the positioning was wrong. And I've always kept it that way.
Well, it works for you.
Because it works for me.
It works
Right.
for you.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but if you look at what the position is supposed to mean, that's not what I
Gotcha.
say. But doesn't matter. I still give a pretty good reading.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna know.
Nobody
the
knows.
difference. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
That's really cool though.
And as long as they're getting the right answer anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
doesn't matter.
And isn't it wild how you have no clue if you're right aside from validation?
It is so weird because you don't.
It is a weird.
I get a spine tingle when I'm on. When I'm saying.
On point?
Yeah, I get a spine tingle. And if I could, not that I'm trying to make people cry, but if they cry, I know.
You're like, yes, made one cry for the day.
But it's hard when you make like 4 people cry in a row. You're like, God. But the thing is, they're getting something they really
You're
need
really
to hear.
on point with that shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, when that happens, you're like, yeah.
We have a
They
friend that
really understand or really needed this message.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We have a friend that says that she makes one person cry every day.
I think the last time Moonstone had that big thing about 3 weeks ago, and I did like 15 readings in a row, and I made 4 cry in a row. I didn't make them cry. Spirit gave them a message that made them cry.
Yeah.
But I was like, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Like when we were doing fairs last year, which we have really missed this year.
We
just, and there's actually we've actually had some of the people from the fairs that we frequented last year. It recently called begging us, please come back.
Yeah.
Because they're having events, and actually they're from what I understand they're turning out pretty good. It just because people have been pinned up and they need to get out.
Well, and what's happening is
the
patrons. It's more quality versus quantity, and so you have these people that they are there on on a hunt for. They know what they need, and that's where they go to get it, rather than people that just peruse around and
right.
just something to do or whatever. Like they're on a mission, fucking mission.
But it came to a point, because I've been reading runes for a long time, but I've only been reading professionally for about a year and a half. And it's amazing how much my reading style evolved in that year and a half. But it went down to it basically, and it took on a mind of its own. It basically went down a path. Just about every reading I did was a shadow reading, whether it was intended to be or not. And it got to the point that especially if we were because when we were at fairs, she would run the vending booth and I would run the reading table, and sometimes, most of the time, we were in the same booth, but sometimes they would split us up. But if we were in the same booth, it got down to the point where someone would sign up on schedule or something. She would warn them. So,
are you pregnant?
Are you sure you want to go this dark? But then people started, kind of like your friend. You said your friend does with you. People would sit down and say, just
come on,
just
destroy me.
Well, and
whatever.
I do feel, especially like at a fair type thing where you have all these people lined up a lot of times, you're gonna pick the right reader for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you listen to your intuition, you're gonna pick the right reader that's gonna give you the right message.
Right.
Because you can have 20 readers in a row and you're going to get a different message from all of them, or a different type of message. But
do you ever get information that you just won't share with them, the client?
Okay, it's not that I won't share it. I'm very careful and choosy how I share it. I had one gentleman come in, and man, I just had to tell him, I'm like, look, you and your daughter need to stay listening to your doctor, because what I saw was very, very bad for him in this lifetime. And he said, well, it's funny that you say that, because I have this condition and then she has this condition and we're both battling this at the same time. And he's like, I just kind of want to know everything's going to be okay.
You're like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
And I was like, my biggest advice from what the tarot is saying is you really need to stay close to your doctor and listen to your doctor's advice. So I'm very careful how he gives the advice.
It's all about the delivery.
And not only that, you don't ever want to implant in someone's head that it's all doom, because we can call into existence our own doom if we want. But then sometimes these things that want to happen, because my sister is an amazing tarot reader. She gave me a tarot reading when I was 19. I was married to my first husband. And she was kind of inexperienced at the time. I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, man, I don't know how to tell you this, but I see your husband dying from something really bad with his stomach.
You're like, shut the fuck up.
And I looked at him, I go, baby, you okay? And he's like, I feel fine. Well, he is fine to this day. But my next husband died of pancreatic cancer, which is something really bad with your stomach.
Yep. Wow.
Oh my. Ooh, I got goosebumps in.
Which that's the one that came through to
the
you.
Wayward, the song.
Yes,
Yeah.
isn't that just
Yeah.
funny? But yeah, so sometimes these things, and you know, that was 20 some years ago. So then when it finally happened, I was like, you know,
If there's candy in that bowl, you can have some.
Holy shit.
I don't know if there's any candy in there, but
There
if there
is.
is, you can have some.
okay.
So we have a viewer had a question. She says, I just had a thought. It might be a stupid thought. No, there's never a
There's
stupid
never
thought.
stupid thought.
Could it be that she can't get tarot cards because she's already a medium and connected to spirit in that form?
You know, funny thing about that, I have a friend that is a really, really good medium, Carol. I think you guys know her because she's usually at that one at Park City, Carol Lindenberger.
I bet if I saw her
yes,
face.
yeah.
She's amazing.
I bet if I saw her face.
If y'all are near Hayes, get with Carol. She's amazing. But she asked for, because we're friends, you know, and she's like, hey, you know, I want a tarot reading. She goes, I've never done one because, you know, I get my own messages anyway. And so I gave her a reading and she's like, huh, that's cool because that's kind of what I knew anyway. That's interesting. Yeah. And so she'll call me every now and then for a reading and she's like, hey, just give me a reading. And she's like, yeah, you're just kind of confirming.
You're my validation.
Right. And I read for myself. If you're a tarot reader, you should read for yourself all the time. Okay. One, it helps you with practice. And two, it helps you learn to be objective,
Right.
which you need to be as a reader. But I love to get readings from people. Like anytime Peter's close, I'm like, hey, give me a reading. You know, because it's like a cook. Even if you're a chef, you like other people to cook for you sometimes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So, and that could be part of it. And it's kind of like a video game. We all have our power move. Okay. I may be okay with runes. I'm really good with tarot cards. Okay. I may be okay with a pendulum, but I'm pretty good at a crystal ball. We all have our power moves and what we're really good at, even though we can do other things. So her power move is probably mediumship. So yeah, she can learn tarot cards. It's just going to add another layer
Right.
to her
Right.
reading, but
Right.
she may not need it, which may be why she's just like, meh. I
Right.
connect with it.
Yeah. Well, and we have another friend that she's a fabulous medium, amazing medium. She all of her readings she uses tarot, but she'll be the first to tell you it's just a prop.
It is.
You know, but it's something
It's just
to give the
prop.
client a visual is really
Well,
what it's for because
yeah.
she does all of her readings 100% intuitively. You know,
And some people, that's why I say it's a gateway drug. That's how they learn to connect is through the prop. Some people can leave it behind and never need it again, you know. So it's whatever works for you. And don't let anyone tell you that they know everything about it because they don't.
Jeremiah, there's a question for you. From Peter.
So Father Groons, it's missing the man. I'm assuming you mean Mana's looks kind of like an M, but with an X in it. If that's the one you're talking about, you know that if I would say that if you don't feel like it's missing a piece, you can use them to learn with and to develop your intuition with them, you know, connect with them. I would say that, just me personally, if it was a commercially available set, it probably had a blank rune in it. And what I would suggest is taking that blank rune and putting
Making
the mana symbol on it, because but that's just my personal preference because I don't read with the blink room.
Right.
You know, it's
It's a
just
blank.
it's a spare piece to me. A lot of people do read with
Right.
it, but I personally don't. You know, that would just be my input.
Well, and
but
Peter, I know you've seen the runes I have are the ones that Jeremiah made. So he makes some really impressive runes. Matter of fact, when I went to my rune class, just to let you know, she's like, "Okay, let's see everybody's runes," and she's like, "Oh, I would read with those. Those are amazing." I'm like, "I know."
Mine.
They're mine.
That's awesome. But
They
you
are
know,
pretty
the
incredible. They are
manas,
pretty incredible
They
runes.
are.
Like
it's homemade from Mystic Myths clay discs.
Peter, you need to get some of Jeremiah's runes.
Okay.
For real. They're incredible.
He's.
Do you have the
seen
sliced
mine.
or the tips?
Sliced?
That's right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have the sliced too.
Because he's seen him because we all play with our
Yes.
toys together.
Yes. Isn't it fun? That's what we do as adults. Man, kids think that you don't play and stuff when you're an adult. Well, witches do. Witches do.
Let's draw a song circle.
You know, I just looked at the time and we're already running up 10 after 8.
Are you
serious?
Do you want to maybe throw out a
Gosh.
spread or something?
Do you want to take a question from somebody on there?
Yeah, somebody ask a question. and
Somebody
we will-
ask a question.
Yes. Yes.
I'll do a 1 card.
I actually want some so bad. She wants to take Ashley, I have to tell her, girl, I have tried to call you over the past few months and I left you voicemail after voicemail and message after message and I'm like, maybe I don't have the right phone number for her and maybe I'm leaving a voicemail
To
on
somebody
else's
else's.
phone. Yes. So yeah, Ashley, I don't know, maybe I don't have the right phone
Do I
number
need
for you,
to
but
move forward
yeah.
more?
No, you're fine. I'm just adjusting the camera. And that camera's frozen anyway. I'm glad I did that. Let's see here.
Any questions yet? I know it takes a minute for it to catch up sometimes. Because a lot of times by the time I've typed a comment to you guys, you're already like 10 minutes past.
So,
Yeah.
while we're waiting for somebody to ask a question on here, your friend Kat,
Yeah.
okay, she said, Anne, your aura is glowing reds and oranges right now. Me is blue and greens, and Jeremiah is glowing yellow.
Whoa, look at you. All that creativity.
Jeremiah, what colors every time I do yours? What color do I say you have?
Yeah.
Every time it's like it's a yellow, and it's like
Kat, I'm going to tell a funny story about you, okay? Ha ha ha. When I first met her, she's like, man, your aura is just sparkly, and it's just sparkling, and she was describing the colors. I'm like, man, this girl's really
have a
good at this
question.
stuff. Oh,
We have a question.
yeah. What is it?
A viewer flat out said, "Will my mom last much longer?" I don't know if that's something you really.
You know what? That's not something that we can really answer. How about we ask a question? Because the question is very important. How about we ask, what can I do to help her in this time? That's a good one.
Okay.
It's always, what can I do? It's not
Time frame
thing, because the tarot is like Google. It tells you how to get somewhere. So would that question work for her?
Aaron, will that question work for you? I bet she'll say yes. But we gotta get.
Okay, funny. Well, not funny, haha, but this card is talking about not recognizing what is being handed to you right now.
Oh.
It's about looking at things that are already gone. So I would translate this card to say, does it need to be that way so they can see?
I don't know.
I would translate it to, because see, this is being handed wine in the sky by a hand. I mean, they're just giving him wine, but this
She said
person's
yes, by
sitting
the way.
there doing this because they're so focused on what they've lost. They're not
Or what they're
focusing on
about
what
to lose.
they're not focused on what they have right now. So what this card is telling you,
Be more present.
be more present right now. So,
There you go, Aaron.
any other questions?
So, like, when you say a question, are you talking about like a yes and no question, or are you
No,
talking
it's
about?
how we ask is very important. People always want to say, "When am I going to meet the love of my life?" Well, that's not going to be answered. Okay. What is a better question is, what can I do to
I have a
meet the love of
question.
my life? Okay.
I have a question.
What?
What can I do to become more balanced? Do you want me to elaborate on the specifics of what I need
I
to
don't
balance?
want too much, but
Okay, then that's all. I'll just stop right
to
there.
be more balanced. What can you do to gain more balance in a situation?
With a specific aspect of my personality. You know what I'm asking. Because this came up in, well, I'll stop. Let's see what she says.
Okay, so the Wheel of
She
Fortune.
said thank you, by the way.
Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is about recognizing things aren't static. Things change. Like,
And I hate malachite and butterflies. Okay?
but what this is saying is that
Don't handle change.
sometimes you're this little person down at the bottom getting squished. Sometimes you're the little one hanging on for dear life on the side, and sometimes you're up on the top.
Mhm.
What the whole point is learning how to roll with the changes and understanding that things aren't going to stay the same, and that when change comes, oftentimes it's for the better.
So, you know that scene in Constantine where Lucifer is trying to drag Keanu Reeves and his feet are like bunching up the tiles on the floor? Picture me as Keanu Reeves, okay? And picture the thing that needs to happen as Lucifer. What an analogy. But yeah, there's just a certain, okay, let me tell you now the answer to the question, okay? The balance between, I am so, by default, by personality, I am so in the moment person all the time that the concept of being future focused is like, I don't know how to do that. Like, to the point, like it's to a fault. Because, he's very good at, goal setting and being goal oriented and focusing on the future about things. And I am and he is not great at being present, right? Like, he's always 3 steps ahead constantly. So he, a lot of times, isn't in the moment. Whereas I am very, very much in the moment person. And I need to learn to become future focused a little bit. How do you do both at the same time? I haven't figured it out.
How you do that is you partner up with somebody that's that.
I know, right? Yes.
And they bring out these qualities because they make you, because he'll make you.
Yeah.
I know he does. There are times where he's like, no.
Yeah.
We have to plan this.
Yes, and I'm just like, okay.
All right, whatever. So that's how it happens. And so the universe heard you say that and found him just for you.
I know, right? I think Grandpa did in his memo. I do. I'm convinced of it, and I think that's partly why. Oh, Sophie, I didn't tell you what happened. I told people on Darkness Tavern. Mom, I'll tell you. Sophie was sitting at the kitchen table the other night, okay? And just me and her. He was at work, and there was no other kids in the house. And she's sitting there eating, and she looks up over towards the garage door bookshelf area, and she was like, "Hi, Lennon," to my son. And he wasn't there, hadn't been there. And I'm like, "Do you see Lennon?" She goes, "Yeah, he's over there." And I'm like, "Hi, Lennon." And then she goes back to eating, and a few minutes later, she's like, "Bye, Lennon." Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess she sees some kid.
Well, I was the
Isn't that
weird,
wild?
creepy kid that had my own little friend
Oh, yeah.
and saw the orbs in my
Yes,
room
yes.
and everything, and I just thought everybody did.
Oh, we got 2 more questions.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
I'm not going to say names. I'm just going to say if they're female or male.
That's fine.
Okay. Female wants to know, are they on the correct path for their career, or what can I do to get where she needs to be? So is that 2 questions?
Yeah, kind of. We'll see. Well, there's an awful lot of conflicting opinions coming in at her right now, and it may either be from her or from outside sources. So my say on this is she needs to get focused and understand that she probably knows best. She doesn't need to listen to everybody else's opinion on everything.
Okay.
Would be part of it. Don't get caught up in the chaos.
Oh, I like that. Okay. The male said, am I on the correct path for my career, or am I working myself to death?
I don't need the cards to tell you that.
Is that kind of like the fact you're asking?
I can tell you if you're having to ask if you're on the right career path and you feel like you're working yourself to death in the same sentence, yeah, you're probably not. But let's see what the cards say.
Okay.
Give it one more good shuffle. Well, okay, so curious. This card is all about learning to take a rest, learning to center, maybe meditate, something. But this is about resting and not getting overworked. So if you feel you're getting overworked right now, you're probably not where you need to be. Probably need
Gotcha.
something to slow you down a little bit.
Gotcha. Well, I hope that answers you to your
I
questions.
hope so.
I bet it did. Jeremiah, you haven't asked a question. You got a question?
Oh, goodness. So many. So, I have a tendency to get, like, overwhelmed with things. What would be, I mean, aside from the obvious answers that everyone knows, what would be, for me specifically, what would Spirit say would be the best way for me to stop that?
I'm going to give you 3. Okay, for one, focusing on the home and family is going to be key.
Okay.
And understanding what the universe actually has given you with non-material things.
Here I am.
Also, and this one's a hard card,
Okay.
and it's difficult for everybody, but especially the way I feel it right now, this is about understanding sometimes things just are. If you're doing 45 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, you can get a ticket. Is it fair? Probably not. But is it justice? Yes. Because the
Right.
universe, what I keep getting is the universe has rules. And we have to, whether we like it or not, have some kind of compliance with them. So sometimes understanding we're not, the word I'm getting is not getting picked on.
Okay.
Sometimes things just are what they are. And so then your grounding is very important. One, understanding that there is more coming in. You have enough. You don't have a lot, but you actually have enough. But there is more coming in, and that's by this card. He has his feet firmly planted on what he has. He's holding this, not tight, he's holding it gently. But this is coming down, so there's more coming. So being patient and understanding there's more coming. Does that help?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, you said one little snippet in there that I'm not even sure you realized. You said that like 3 or 4 other people have told me, and you know the Spirit keeps smacking me over the head with it, and I keep.
Okay, this
I
goes
get-
back to like the dream and not understanding, and then sometimes while we're working on something, we keep getting hammered with it until we finally relax into it, and we may know it's like I know I need to do this. I know I do, but that doesn't mean I've quite done
One
it yet.
step in and
So-
one
I
step
haven't
out.
gotten all that rid of all that control yet.
I'll just be quite candid and
Hey, somebody said it's really hard to see the cards. Is there anything we can, or no?
Yeah, I can probably
Oh, and there is
darken that
somebody
up a little
who
bit there,
has- okay, so Peter,
improve the contrast. But
he said or it's okay to give his name. Said, can Anne give me a general Celtic cross reading bastard deck preferred? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but not right now because we're already running time. I didn't bring my bastard deck.
Oh, how about a 1 card pull for him?
All right, we can do
He
that.
didn't ask for that, but I'm sure he'd be fine with it.
Yeah, he'll deal. Yeah, my bastard deck is one of my favorite decks. It's a mix of Tarot de Marseille and Rider Waite.
Ooh.
It's really pretty. Okay. And you notice he's not giving me a question. You know why? He knows that I usually don't even take questions.
Oh, wow.
I see that. Okay, well, circumstances aren't going to change very quickly right now, Peter. The situation that you're in right now is what it is, and it's going to stay there for just a minute. But you are on your way to changing the situation just a little bit. But take your time and be a little bit patient.
There you go, Peter.
Does that help, Peter?
Patient.
Patient,
Don't
Peter.
be like me. Don't be like me. So, Matthew Alexander says, "Hey, Ann."
Hey, Matt. Sup? Sup?
Oh, okay. So another female wants to know. Where did it go? It moved on me. Oh, what does Spirit want me to do right now with myself?
Well, there's a situation that you're in, and it may be at work, I'm not certain, but there's a situation that you're in. You can't give up yet. I know you want to, and I know you're tired, but you're almost to the end of the situation. You've got to push through just a little bit longer.
Do you want to know who that was for?
Yeah.
Cat.
Ah.
Okay.
Keep pushing, Kat. Keep pushing.
Keep pushing, honey. You're
Keep
almost
going.
there.
You're almost there.
Yes. Wow, that was incredible. So, would it be wrong to ask a question for a friend that you know if she was here she would want to know, but she's not? It would be wrong?
Yeah, it's kind of like an invasion of privacy.
Let me ask her real quick if I can
Yeah. Because, you know, with the tarot, sometimes you see things that are pretty private.
Just a little bit of candor on what you were talking about a while ago. Is that like the way you laid those cards out. It was exactly the steps I followed in order, right? I pretty well got the family thing down. That was a big lesson for me, and not taking family for granted and all that. Still got a little bit of work to do there. But then, following by the laws of the land and the rules of the universe, But then you said one little snippet in that last part, talking about that last card, talking about my the grounding aspect and the I have been a little bit neglectful of myself in that aspect, or a lot of it, really. I mean, just really, if I'm real honest, I've been really neglectful of myself. But it's and I don't know why, but it just seems so difficult to get
you thrive
moved back into that.
You like thrive on routine and like schedule and stuff like that, and being that there's all these little people.
But that's something where I need to learn some give and take,
well,
though, because I mean,
yeah.
let's face it, with 5 kids at home, all of them middle school and younger, routine's never going to be a big thing for several years now. Just to be honest.
Okay,
but I need, I've got to figure something out there,
Okay, so what I hear may be different than what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you what I hear.
Okay.
What I hear is chaos, okay, whether it be inner chaos.
Yeah.
Where even though you represent yourself as not chaotic, you have the inner chaos, which is one thing that we have to learn to deal with. And why? Okay, so then, I know I'm preaching to the choir right here. When we start talking about shadow work, what is causing the inner chaos? What is the biggest? And you don't have to answer.
No, yeah,
but
no.
What is the biggest factor causing the inner chaos? Because once we deal with that situation, then we can feel more in control of the other situation.
There are.
That's what I
yeah,
hear.
and you're exactly right. I mean, there are some, and it kind of goes back to the family part that you talked about, but not immediate household family. More more a little bit more removed family. That I do have some issues I need to work on there. Some fairly recent significant changes that have happened there that I haven't processed through yet, and I know I haven't.
Okay, and so you like to plan, right?
Uh-huh.
But you didn't plan for these, did you?
No.
Okay, so why would you be thrown into chaos? Because you didn't plan for them and you weren't ready for them.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, hi, Sophie.
She's crying. Are you sorry?
Oh, you guys are live. They can see you wave.
Hi.
Hi, baby.
so that would be my take on
You're
that.
gonna get
It
the
just,
guinea pigs.
especially people that are
Go
very
with- go with
regimented,
Bubby.
when
Go with
things
Bubby.
happen and they're like, I'm not in control at this moment because I didn't plan
Good night,
for it,
baby.
you know.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it was
Bye, love you.
it was a very well, not very sudden, because it was something that we knew was coming, but it when it actually happened, it happened fairly quickly, and it's one of those changes that's very permanent and can't really be undone. Period. So that's kind of thrown me into a tailspin, but
so you're gonna have to learn to work around that mountain.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
You can't move it.
right.
Kat said he can't pinpoint where to start.
And that's true to an extent. There's a lot of history there that is gonna have to be unpacked. So.
Well, the one good thing about history is it is history. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
not here
Right.
unless we bring it here.
Right.
Oh, and she did ask. She said, is her current relationship going to last forever?
Well, I can tell you no because people die.
Okay.
Okay, so what would be a better question? A better
Um,
question would probably be, is
she-
this the person I should be staying with?
Yes. There we go.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's ask that question.
Yes.
Remember with tarot, it's all about how you ask and what you ask.
Mhm.
Because like you can say, am I going to win the lottery? Maybe.
Maybe you might find a quarter and needed the quarter for the turnpike or
Okay,
something.
so
Wow,
is
that
this
was
the person that she should be with?
Yes. Is this her? Yeah.
Is this the person? No. There's things are probably this is the number 9, it's not the number 10. So there's still more goodness to come. Even though
Right.
things are okay.
Just right quick, can you scoot the card out just a little bit? There
That
we
way?
go. Yeah, there you go.
See, he's all richy rich and he's standing there with all, grapes and a peacock and all kinds of wonderful.
Peacock?
He's got a peacock, yeah, he's a richy rich guy. But there's still more positive things to come. So enjoy this right now. And that doesn't mean that this relationship is going to end, but it is saying there are more good things to come. Whether it be in this relationship or in another one, you still have room to expand and grow.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Yes, that definitely helps. Let's see. What time is it? Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah, there was one more question that I saw up here.
Oh, it says, can you give me, this particular individual would like to know a quick vibe check for the rest of the week.
Yeah. This is about being balanced and solid. I guess I can put it that way. This is the justice card. So this is about, what is justice? Very solemn, balanced. I hope you're not going to court, but because it could be that. Sometimes it deals with legal issues. Sometimes it deals with following the law, but mostly what I'm hearing and getting is keeping the balance. So that means things are pretty smooth,
Okay.
should stay the same.
Okay.
And there was one other question.
And of course, the individual was a Libra.
Of course.
Of course. I did. There's the other question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was, why do I feel like someone has been trying to communicate with me again lately, as though activity has spiked around me lately?
Why do I feel?
Or is there a way we should rephrase that?
How about, is what is trying to connect with you for your greatest good or not? That would be a better question.
There you go.
Is this a positive or more negative message that they're trying to get a hold of you with? Because if something's trying to get a hold of you, there's a reason for it. But wow, that's a sun card. That's pretty positive. And it doesn't look like a sore butthole. This is a positive card. This is a green light go. This is things expanding and growing. And so if it was me, but I'm one of those weird ones that would try to communicate with the spirit or say, hey, maybe come to me in my dream and give me the message I need, or maybe a song lyric comes on with the exact message that you're wanting to give me. But find a way to get this message to me that I can understand, because it looks like it'd be something positive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
Having some firsthand knowledge of this person and their situation, I think you're right on track there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I like to hear that, because a lot of times I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Oh, I'm not right. I get the message from spirit. It's not me. So I just know how to decode it.
Yes.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
Hell yeah, there is. Not everybody can do it.
Is there any more questions?
So the person that originally was a Libra, he said, I'm on the cusp, and I was like, I bet it's Virgo Libra cusp. And I said, Virgo Libra? Yep. Why are these things?
Because you're just so...
Well, and what's weird is like,
you're such a good star baby.
Right when I read it was the cusp, I literally thought, oh, it's Virgo Libra. And then, but it could have been the other.
Could have been the other way.
Could have been the other way,
But...
Yeah, go ahead, Claire.
One more question.
One last question if we have time. And yeah, we'll make time.
We'll make time.
Well, you better figure it out, Claire. She said, I'm not sure how to ask it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Don't ask it. We're going to do something.
Okay, just stop. Whoa,
Let's
Claire.
do a tarot card trick. Think about it. Focus on the situation. Just focus on the situation for a minute. I'll tell you what I see, and then you can tell me if it's relevant.
Okay.
And this, again, is about family, finding your niche, finding a place where you fit. This is about enjoying the happiness and really feeling the sun on your face right now. So this is about enjoying happiness and family and things like that. Does that resonate at all?
I did scroll back and find her question, and I think there is a message there for her. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that.
I don't know what the question was, so I can't.
I don't either.
Yeah. Okay.
But when I do readings for people, when I do and I've done readings for you, I'm like, I don't want a question. Just don't tell me. Because I'd rather connect with spirit and see what they have to say than, because people don't know what these cards mean. I could tell them anything to fit that question. I don't want people to think I'm a charlatan.
Right. Yeah.
I
No, I totally get that. That's it. It's like when I have people sit down at my reading table, I always tell them straight up front. you know, you can tell me as little or as much as you want to, because honestly, whether you ask a question or not, I'm going to tell you what these tell me, period.
Yeah, and that's another reason, because people go, please tell me about my love life. Well, the cards say your finances are in the toilet, so you need to focus on that.
Right.
That's why you ain't found a love life yet.
Right. Yeah, let's go in order
Find
here.
a credit score that matches your own.
That's excellent advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad I didn't take it more than once.
Yeah, Claire. If she unfortunately her phone lagged and booted her off the video when you were doing that last
so do I need
reading.
to say what it was again?
If you can.
Okay, if I remember, it was about finding your niche and enjoying the place where you're at with your family and your friends and your loved one, and really enjoying. I keep getting the sun on your face. Enjoying the sun on your face, which to me would be just enjoying the present moment right now.
Enjoy
and
that
things.
butthole. What can I say?
Enjoy it. That's kind of what I remember saying.
Okay.
You know, I definitely think there's a message there for you, Claire.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yay! Oh my god, thank you for doing the card pulls. That was fun.
Sure, that was
That was
I mean, I was
fun.
ready to pull out the tarot cards.
Yeah, but I mean it, and like back to my thing, it was like I never think about the future. Like never. And I literally, and I think it's because of my line of work. Right?
Yes.
And so I've really learned to become here and now, and we're living in the moment and very present and everything. And you should put it back on the camera.
Huh?
It's still on the card table.
No.
It's not?
No.
Oh, it just hasn't caught up, has it?
Yeah, it just
oh
hadn't
my God,
caught
I'm
up
not
out there
watching it
yet.
live. Anyways, so yeah, I really struggle with thinking about the future, and not because I'm afraid of it. I don't know.
It really doesn't matter much, and
Yeah.
having had 2 husbands pass away,
Yeah.
they really reset me, because I used to be more always thinking about the future, always planning,
Yeah.
when I'm old and things are always going to be better and this and I realized it really doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter, because things change quickly sometimes.
The only
Yeah.
certain thing is change.
Yeah. And so it threw me more into living in the present, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my 2 dead husbands, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
I wouldn't be on the path that I'm on. And matter of fact, one came through a medium, and he said, the first thing he said to her was, tell her thank you. And I'm like, what for? And then that all came out. I'm like, he's right. I would not be doing this.
Yeah, it's true. And but it is. I mean, nothing lasts forever. Nothing
It
does.
doesn't.
And, it's true.
But you do need to plan a little bit,
Mhm.
Yeah, you do.
because cars break down.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Tires
have to
blow
be-
out,
So you have to be
know.
a little bit ready for some stuff.
Yes.
Taxes come due.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
That didn't sound
That
positive.
sound like it broke.
So,
Yeah.
what
Well,
was it?
the deal actually broke
Oh, I
on
broke
Darkness Tavern the
I
other
broke
night,
it.
but I just knocked
Just
the
put
piece
the-
off and it broke more.
I just put the piece that I broke off back on it, so it was like
Some
that
gum.
was broke. Darn you, Jeremiah! Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
Well, this is fun, guys.
Matthew said you guys need to hang out soon.
Yeah, we do.
And yes, thank you so much for everybody's
Thank you,
readings
everybody,
and
for
for
showing
being
up.
on with us. And oh my God, time flew like it always does.
Yeah.
I can't believe we've been sitting here that long.
Oh,
I know, right?
That's wild. Anyways, yeah, so guys, tune in next Monday for Darkness Live with Brandon Callahan again. And we're going to go down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and this is
Current
all
conspiracy.
pretty specific stuff
Yes.
around like current events and whatnot going on. It's kind of I mean, it can really be kind of eye-opening. So yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's He's
kind of gonna lift
we'll
the
see.
veil back a little bit.
I know sometimes when
And
I get into some
expose.
conspiracy theories, I'm like, okay. You know how comfortable, uncomfortable I am.
Yes.
They make me feel funny.
Yes.
But then you sit and think about them, you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
Huh.
man.
there might be something.
Yes.
And I learned very early in this path not to make fun of anybody,
No.
what they believe, because I'm going to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
You know what? If somebody wants to
And usually
think
at my
they're-
expense.
if somebody
Right.
thinks they're gonna die and come back as a dragonfly, by God, you're a beautiful one.
You'd be the best dragonfly
Yes,
ever, baby.
exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
The funniest joke one of the funniest jokes I've heard was, I can't remember who did the joke, so I can't give him credit, but it's not my joke. Basically, they were like, yeah, I was, the guy sneezes and is like, the other guy says, bless you, and he's like, I'm atheist. And then the one guy was like, what? And he's like, I'm atheist. And he's like, so what do you believe? And he goes, when I die, I'm going to come back as a giant ficus, like a tree, right? And then the other guy was like, wouldn't it be great if there's this big, giant, sweaty guy with an axe coming through the woods and chop down the tree and put it through the sawmill, turned it into paper and printed the Bible on him? I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really funny. The other original person told it way better than I did. Okay, maybe had to be
Got
there.
way better with the punchline than I was. Had to be there.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. All right, so we ready to wrap it up,
Oh,
guys?
but yeah, if anybody wants a reading from you, can you do them via phone?
I do them via phone. I do them during Duo,
How do you want
Zoom,
somebody to
Facebook Messenger.
book a
Get a
reading
hold
with
of me
you?
through Prairie Pagan.
Okay.
Message me there. I'm also on Instagram as Prairie Pagan.
Okay. You should be the pretty Prairie Pagan. But I can't
That's probably why I'm not. A lot of people can't say it. So yeah, get a hold of me there. I do one-on-one tarot classes with people,
Yes.
and so
Very cool. Very cool.
thanks for having
Well,
me, guys.
Kat and Peter, thank you for watching.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank
Tune in
you.
again.
Everyone that
And-
logged on and
Yes.
and
That
thank
was
you for showing
fun.
up and talking with us. That's been we don't do this nearly enough,
No shit.
So
I know. The only time I talk with her is through memes.
right.
Yes.
We're sending memes
Yes.
to each other.
Yes.
I'm like, well, she knows I'm thinking of her.
Yes. But anyways, all right, people. Well, tune in next Monday, and until then,
Keep shaking hands with the darkness. The shadows. Keep shaking hands with the shadows. I'm going to get that right one of these days, damn it. I'm sorry, Ben. I butcher that every time.
it's okay. We know you have good intention.
We'll get,
There's a reason I don't try to say it. Because I can't ever remember if it's darkness or shadows, and it's terrible to admit that. But I'll own that shit. I don't care.
all right, guys. Like, share. If I can get my stupid mouse to
Ben,
work
it is
here.
a great slogan, by the way. Like, it really is. It's very fitting.
Yes, like, share, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, follow, and help us get the word out there about this crazy thing we do. We love doing this, and we hope you guys get something out of it too, and have fun with us. So
Yes, Matthew, thank you for watching. Also, I forgot to say him. And anybody else that tuned in. Thank you.
Thank you.
we will be back next week, and until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
If I can get my
Be
mouse to
safe.
work.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yes.
Yes. My mouse is not working.
Are we off?
Oh, for crying out
Are we
loud.
off of the audio yet?
No.
Okay, I'll hold my thought.